Welcome back. During her career in London as a developer and elsewhere as a developer, Mary Bray's had many ups and downs, more ups than downs, however. On balance, she's been very, very successful. And Mary, I guess a question would be, what makes you successful? What's sort of your secret to success?
I think I have a lot of common sense. I think we grew up on the farm, and my father was big on common sense, you know, and a lot of projects that, and I think I have kind of a creative mind, maybe a little, you know, I don't know. But
I think that's right.
And I like to be busy. I don't know. I'm not educated. I had grade 12. I mean, so I'm not.
One of the creative projects that I saw in the clippings, I had forgotten all about this. You took over the old Century Theater, turned it into a theater, or turned it into a restaurant, and then wanted to turn it into a casino. Whatever happened to that project? I'd forgotten all about it.
Well, it was going to be a small casino. That's where we were kind of starting, and then it came that all of a sudden we were going to have these huge casinos, and London was going to get 2 of them. And so that's kind of why I bought the Century back. Not so much to put the casino there, because the casino guys were going to take the Muse across the street. Remember the Muse?
Oh, yes, the Muse. Gone
I
now.
used to own it too for a little while, not long. But anyway, and they were going to do like a $150 million project with a 5-star hotel and big casinos right in the middle, that two block of, you know, where the Muse was. Kind of building it above the Muse and putting parking underneath. And I really had the Century back to do a casino school, because when you have a big casino like that, so it's a little bit complicated. And I was going to turn the dining room part back into the dining room again and still have the casino in the rest of the building, like a casino school. So anyway, City Hall turned it down and put slot machines out at the fairgrounds, and we missed an opportunity. And
Could
what
have
it
been
would
a
have
really
done,
interesting downtown with a casino in the middle.
right in the middle, and a 5-star hotel. We got a convention center without a 5-star hotel. Our city doesn't have one, do we? Do we?
I don't know.
I don't think
yeah.
so. No, I don't. And it would have created 3,500 new jobs, is what they suggested it would create. And it would have meant people making decent money. They were making good money as dealers and whatever. And all those jobs, people would have lived downtown. They would have been young people, and you know, all of a sudden you had a community base of people living downtown. And if we could, you know, have started back then, that was maybe in the, God knows, early 90s. And anyway, we missed it, and instead taxpayers paid $150 million to put up a new market and new library and the arena. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate that the idea of a developer is to promote things and to come up with, you know, grandiose ideas and all the rest of it. But do you think London sort of misses a lot of opportunities because we're too conservative about embracing these ideas?
Yeah, I really do.
You've had some good ones that never came up the path.
Yeah, because at the same time, this casino idea was coming together, and I got City Hall to vote yes for it, but they put it on the referendum and it got turned down. Anyway, so much for that, but it would have paid, if we had had that kind of a casino, it would have paid for performing arts, which we could.
Let's talk about performing arts.
I know, I never give up.
It seems to be sort of one of those projects that won't die, and I guess that's good. People keep pushing it. Why do we need a performing arts center in London?
We're the only city in North America of this size that doesn't have a decent performing arts facility. And I mean, the arena isn't a performing arts, it's a hockey arena, I'm sorry.
Yep.
It's
nice one.
Yeah, it's a very nice hockey arena. Let's face it, it is. Shouldn't have been plunked on that nice spot where you should have had beautiful condos overlooking the forks of the Thames. I mean, but a performing arts center takes more arts and culture to downtown. And Fanshawe, I read in the paper a year or two ago where Howard Rundle said he'd like to do a performing arts for his drama school downtown. And that's what got me going again, because it was a great idea that you would have Fanshawe with her drama school, and the orchestra and traveling shows could use it, you know, on weekends, and it could be more kind of a functional. I mean, really, the arena, how many nights a week is it open? How many, 2 nights,
Two or
maybe
3 nights
one?
a week. Yeah.
Not even 2 or 3. Last summer it was 3. I think it was open 3 nights in a month. I mean, without the hockey, it's
True, yeah.
yeah. But performing arts is a little different. If you look at where Richmond Street is in the Grand Theatre, those restaurants there are quite successful. And I really think it has to do with the Grand Theatre. It's a small theatre. It's only 800 seats, I think. But we need a bigger, not 10,000 seats like the arena, but a bigger performing arts center. We really do need one.
The big issue these days about a performing arts center is money. And the last time council kicked it around, about 6 or so months ago, the price had risen to somewhere around $75 million. How do we pay for that?
Well, except now that we have kind of a lull in the economy, it's a good time to do it, because probably there's not as much. Costs have dropped. I mean, I think those kind of costs have. And we need to look into it a whole lot more. They should have done a study on the LDBA, and, you know, they spent, I don't know, we're going to spend $300,000 on those metal trees downtown. If they had taken $50,000 and done a study for a performing arts center, I think it would have been money well spent.
Should the city pay all that money? Is there?
No, the city isn't going to be paying all of it, but this, right now, if we used it with the stimulus money, the feds and the province and the city and private sector would have kicked in. I'm sure I know there's people out there that would have kicked in, you know, 10 million minimum, probably more, to do a performing arts center. And probably today you could do a decent enough one for 50 to 60. When I was looking at it quite a few years ago, I can't remember, I suppose in 90s, early 90s, it was about 25,000 or 25 million we needed. But today, say you double it even, and I think there is still an opportunity that we need to, maybe with Fanshawe. And if Fanshawe would move their arts and culture downtown, and they've got a new, like there's somebody new at Western.
Yep, new president.
Yep. Yeah, president, I guess you call it. And he seemed, I read an article, he seemed like he was kind of interested in maybe downtown. And I think if somehow we could get all these young people living down here, and the teachers that are, you know, I think it could change downtown forever. It would be a college town. And, you know, if we look at Toronto even, I mean, Ryerson's downtown. I mean, it's in a lot of cities. Their downtown is made up of a lot of university. If they have those university kids living downtown in, you know, the right kind of facilities, residences, you don't have the problem they have out in Fanshawe and the suburban houses. And I think they don't have any problems in their residential campus housing.
What stands in our way, do you think, of embracing these big dreams, these big ideas?
I don't think we have much leadership in the city or downtown, I'm sorry to say. I think there's nobody that cares enough. Our taxes are, I mean, outrageous downtown. I mean, it's terrible.
Is that an impediment to?
Oh yes, to development along Dundas Street. It's anyway. That's another story.
And what's the issue there? The taxes are still based on what the values were 20 years ago?
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people that buy it, and they look at it and they think it's cheap, but they don't realize you got to have those taxes reassessed.
So if you were the mayor, or you know, head of the Downtown Business Association, what would you do if you could wave your magic wand? What would you do to make downtown better?
Well, it's hard to know where to start.
Somebody said a creative fire might help. We'd lose all of our heritage buildings.
Yeah, it's really important we get residential down there, and the only thing that I can see that'll kind of do it would be moving Fanshawe and a huge campus. Not the little bit they have in Galleria, I don't mean that, but I mean like taking the Bell building and making that into their high-tech building, or maybe it could be their hotel restaurant. And there's all kinds of beautiful properties along Dundas that you could have, you know, classes upstairs and the main floor. I mean, there's just so many opportunities downtown to fill up all the vacant. The library, I mean, back to Faria again, but it's, you know, it should, I mean, Fanshawe could do their hotel restaurant management in there too. I mean, there's an opportunity there, or some, I don't know, I think that Western and Fanshawe, if we could ever get them having a big presence in downtown, you know, 5,000-10,000, all of a sudden we go from, I think right now we don't even have quite 10,000 people living downtown.
Not quite, no.
No. So we need another 15,000. What's the fastest way to do it? And you have to change a few things, tweak a few things. The money that comes into downtown, it needs to be for condos as well as for
apartment buildings or rental buildings.
Yeah, it's just rentals now.
We're going to be out of time shortly, so let me just ask one more question of you. What's next? I mean, you're many people are retired at your age, and I can see by the gleam in your eye you've got some ideas there. So what's next for Mary Bray?
Oh, I don't know. No, I don't know. It's
But do you have some projects in mind? Do you think you always have projects in mind?
Well. Kind of finishing off the century and maybe kind of doing a little piece of a joint venture with somebody. But right now, I don't know. I don't know where downtown is going. But I think it's sad to see that it just doesn't go anywhere. And I wish people would get on the bandwagon and think about arts and culture.
You're going to help them do that?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think they're going to listen to me.
Oh, I don't know about that, Mary Bray. Anyway, thank you very much for being on the program tonight. It's a great pleasure to see you again, to see that you're still alive and kicking, and still full of lots of good ideas. And we'll be looking forward to seeing some more outrageous suggestions from you in the public prints. We'll be back with our next guest, Peter.